I am here. I am privileged. I'm blessed. We are blessed to have Dr. Joyce Garrett here. She has so many accolades. It's too many. It's too many to read. But I think my greatest privilege is to know that she is always willing to mentor people from previous generations, and we really appreciate her. We also have one of her former students, but he is a DMV legend in his own right, brother. Let's say it. I don't want to say it wrong. It's
Taiwan Bradford.
Taiwan Bradford. And many people know you. They're gonna be calling me up. Hey man, you should know his name by now.
Just call him Bradford, man. Just call him Bradford. That's
TB, but it's definitely
TV,
something
right.
Taiwan Bradford. So listen, we're preparing for the big Eastern High School Choir concert Saturday, July the 7th, 5 p.m. And this was something, this is a culmination, one of the culminations of your life's work. Talk about how you got started at Eastern.
Okay, I started at Eastern in 1972, and I had been on maternity leave, and I got a call from the supervisor. There's an opening at Eastern High School, and I remember thinking, oh, that's that beautiful school that looks like a castle. And I was just happy to go over there. And when I got there, it was just from the beginning, it was like a love fest. They had wanted a teacher that liked gospel because the former music teacher didn't let them do gospel. So when they saw, here's this person that came that loved gospel like they loved gospel, it was, like I said, it was a love fest from the very beginning. I loved them, they loved me back. And it started from there. And then after about a year or two, I started noticing when it was gospel choir day, I'd have all these fabulous voices. 25 people come from the neighborhood to sit in a rehearsal. But in the concert choir, which was the class during the day, I had about 10 people registered. So I was like, now how am I going to fix this? So what I did after 2 or 3 years, I said, in order to be in the gospel choir, you must sing in the concert choir. You must take the class. I really used gospel as bait to get them. And then after I got them in there, our slogan was 360 degrees of music, because I wanted to learn some of everything.
Absolutely.
So that's how I got started.
Right. Where did you get your training to learn how to pull voices together and pull the best out of young people?
That's what I want to know.
I don't, and I said that it was just from listening. I knew the sounds that I did like, and I knew the sounds that I didn't like. It was no special technique that I learned from anybody else. I used to just know that I didn't like that sound, so how can I shape it a little different? And I just started doing it. And the choir, the results were making me know that it was something to what I was doing. So I just kept doing it. I never liked bright, brassy, bright sounds unless it was at a certain spot in the music, unless it was needed. I always liked these dark, rich sounds. And so I started saying things like, I need a sound, I want the sound to look like maroon. I started making them see color. Okay, you're singing a yellow sound. We need a maroon kind of sound. And they kind of, and they kind of caught on to that.
Wow, you born and raised in Kinston. I wrote it down. Make sure. Where is Kinston near?
Kinston is it's 7 to 8 miles southeast of Raleigh.
Okay.
It's about 70 miles from the ocean.
Okay.
And it's near Goldsboro, Wilson, down in there.
You still have family down there?
Only very few. Everybody's gone now.
So you moved up here to go to school?
No, I moved up here when I finished college, got married, and I was in Kentucky. My husband got immediate orders to go to Vietnam, and he had 1 month notice. We had just gotten married. So I was like, where am I going to go? I don't want to go back to North Carolina. I had an aunt here. That was the only place I could have gone. So I came here and lived with my aunt, and she was a teacher. And she took me to the school board office, and I got a job in the middle of the year. I mean, amazing. There was a teacher that had retired in the middle of the year, had been there for 17 years at Langley Junior High. Her name was Miss Coverdale.
Wow.
So for the first semester, all I heard from the students was, I sure wish Miss Coverdale was here. They did not.
Your feelings were not taken.
They did not want to see me. But I stuck it out. And then after 5 years on the junior high level, I got the job at Eastern High School. I was in heaven.
Right. So while we're at Eastern, you come in what year?
I came in Eastern 1979.
1979.
79. Wait a minute, don't
You ain't but 20.
Don't do it, Ed.
Yeah, man.
You ain't but 25, man.
Right, 27.
Talk about your experience with Dr. Garrett in the choir.
Oh my God, it was phenomenal. I graduated Eastern at 82, but I came in at 79 as a student. Funny, I wasn't in the choir when I first came, and I wanted to be because I had seen this choir, and my sister had been in the choir in the 76. So I'd always went to see their engagements and things. When I got to Eastern, I said, I gotta be in the choir. So I got my schedule changed, got in the choir, and she was glad to have me. So I was just a singer, another tenor in the choir at the time. And when I got to the 12th grade, she said, come here. I heard you direct your choir at church. And I was at Tyson Temple at the time. And she said, I said, yeah. She said, well, come let me see you direct this song. And it was WYCB's I'll Be With You, That's What He Said.
Wow. I'll be with you.
That's right.
I remember that.
That was the song.
That was like the signature cut there. After that, we just been a match made in heaven ever since.
Wow, man.
Every time I have gone to any place, I take Taiwan with me. When I went to the Naval Academy, he became my assistant director there because he had the pulse of what was new right then. He would come to me and say, have you heard this new song by Richard? Have you heard this new song by Thompson Community Choir? And James Cunningham would always pick the musicians. So James picked my bands. And it's from then to now he's at Alfred Street with me.
Right.
And he still lets me know who I need to get for bass.
That's all right. That's all right.
Got that production.
But Taiwan was the only student I've ever had that I let be in the band and the choir.
Is that right?
Because I felt like you should choose. You had to be in one because we practiced 2 and 3 hours a day. And so if he was in the band, he would practice at band from like 3:30 to 4:30. He wouldn't get up to me till almost 5 o'clock. So I wanted them the whole time.
Right.
But there's something about him. He was
a good guy. That's good.
He did
That's
both
all right.
and did
That's
both
all right.
well.
So over 35 years, you guys have been together. That's a testament to itself. 35 years. So what secrets have you taken from Dr. Garrett in terms of your music ministry?
Learning how to shape sound was a big tool. We worked together with a lot of artists, on big things like Christmas in Washington and the Kennedy Center Honors, and we're dealing with all these artists. Never getting a big head. Always knowing to stay humble, and just taking the technique. When she taught in school, I absorbed like a sponge. So everything that she did in class, I was doing my choirs at church. So and I noticed they were singing a lot better from the stuff I was learning from her. So to this day, I have friends who say, "You're a chip off the old block."
The newest chip is Roderick.
Oh yeah. He is running with it.
He did the same thing that Taiwan did. Just soaked it all up. Sometimes when I see both of them direct, I'm like, they have just got it. I hear myself saying they're saying some of the same words, using some of the same
Roderick
language.
is doing a great thing.
Yes, he is.
And I'm gonna tell you, Roderick, you haven't. I've been trying to sing in the artist choir, and you haven't. Yeah, Al sings bass, I sing baritone. We don't have. We both read. We both got college degrees. You don't even invite us. We're too old.
Me.
Oh, he invited you? Oh, you didn't go. That's your problem. See, Roderick, I didn't get an invitation. See, I'm ready, Roderick. You got all these other artists. I'm ready.
So he's got it popping, I think, on the 22nd of the month.
That's right.
But
And it's going to be at Alfred Street Baptist Church at 7:30.
I didn't even know how to get to Alpha Street.
Yeah.
See you next time.
I participated last year, so I'm going to try to come the next 3 Mondays. Okay.
Roderick, we salute you and congratulate you. Let's talk about this concert.
Yes.
So is the concert going to be decade by decade? You're going to have
Yes.
each. Ooh.
The idea came when I realized that this was the 30th anniversary of the year that went to Europe. So that's where it started. I thought, let's get them together and do a full concert of the music we did in Europe. And the more I talked about it, the other students that heard about it said, well, what about us? Because it was just going to be them.
Right.
So then we figured out the 70s. I was there in the 70s. They know different music than the 80s.
Right.
So now when you come to this fabulous concert, you're going to hear a 70s choir of about 35 voices singing the music they sang when they were there.
Yes.
I have rehearsal with them this evening. They're coming from everywhere.
Grace like Kenny Spears.
Oh my
Kenny
goodness.
Spears, yes. Annette, Henrietta
Spears.
Morgan, Annette Spears. Then we have the 80s choir. That's when Twanda Reinhardt, Taiwan Bradford, all that crew. Then the 90s choir is not Gerald Scott, is
Isn't
2000.
Robin
He's
Sugar
2000.
in that 90s group?
Robin Sugar Williams, so many. Why can't we remember?
Everybody.
But the 90s choir is the largest one. It's at least 125 of them
Wow.
planning to sing.
Oh, is Mike Scott in the 90s choir too?
Mike Scott finished
Yeah.
in 95, right?
Keisha Goldsberg, too.
Lakeisha Goldsberg, Shalita Claiborne, all of them in 90s.
Right.
Those fabulous background singers. And then the 2000 choir when Patrick Lundy came. So Patrick and I are going to share that, the direct in the 2000. So you have people like Gerald Scott. And don't forget, in the 90s, you have Yanni Crawley. I mean,
She will be there.
and she's
Leah-
coming from
Leah-
Atlanta.
Leah
You've been blessed. You've had some singers come through there.
Oh my goodness.
Darlene
Leah
Simmons.
Lynch,
All these
Darlene
people
Simmons in the 80s. It's going to be amazing. It really is. So what we're going to do, each choir is going to sing a short medley, and then we're going to have intermission. Then the 88 choir is going to sing the part of the Palavetsin dances, that hard German piece they sang 30 years ago.
Wow.
They're going to do Birth of the Blues, and then they're going to do Richard Smallwood's I Have Come Too Far.
How are you feeling about that German piece right now?
We had a time last week.
It's been so long.
Talk about the bargain.
They looked at me like I was crazy. Oh, we had a time. So tonight I'm going to practice with them again. So I'm going to let everybody have a pencil. We're going to sit down and
walk it through.
phonetically write what those words sound like.
Wow.
But it was hard looking at that for the first time. It made us. I actually played the CD that they recorded when they came back, and somebody said, "Miss Carol, who is that?" I said, "That's you." They couldn't believe that they had learned it, and I couldn't believe when I saw how difficult it was last week to reteach it, that we did that when they were 16, 17 years old.
Wow. What's the ticket price for this?
$20 on Eventbrite, but mainly go to easternchoir.com.
Okay.
It'll take you straight to that page.
Take it straight to Eventbrite.
Listen, if you don't know about this yet, if
You gotta be there.
if you grew up in a time where Eastern, where after Joyce Garrett left the school system, then you don't really get the full effect of that era. But if you ever want to see a concert, this is going to be one. Eastern High School Choir, National Church of God, July the 7th at 5 p.m. I'm going to be there because this is going to be amazing just to see all these people in one place, just to see you pull it off one more time.
And then, I forgot to say this. After all of these different choirs sing, all 300 plus
gonna
are
come
singing
together.
together at the end. And we're going to start off with Jeff Jacobs, Holy is the Lord, with 300 voices.
Don't tell us too much
But I'm
now.
not telling you more.
Last but not least, we have 2 minutes. How did you balance school, church, and family?
A fabulous husband, a wonderful husband. I've been married to him for 53 years, almost.
Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
we all tell now.
That's a testimony in itself, right?
Let me go out there and kiss my wife after you said
please
that.
go kiss your wife. He has supported everything I've done because in order for me to stay at school, after school for 3 hours every day or 2 hours or whatever it was, somebody had to be taking care of picking up kids and
There
doing
you
this.
go.
I have a wonderful son, Rodney, who still lives in
Yeah.
Fort Washington, and a wonderful daughter, Melanie, who is married and lives in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
But my family has been so supportive. I have brought students home to my house to live with us for a year at a time. And my children have accepted each person. They've never been jealous.
They know the drill by
knew,
now.
they knew the drill, and they knew. I remember one time I was coming down Willow Road taking someone home, and she said something about she felt unsafe in where she was living. I said, "Go get your stuff." It was that simple, and she stayed with me her whole senior year. And it was like that. I would just bring him home spontaneously, and he would accept it. So
That's a blessing.
That's been a blessing that I had such.
He walked with you
family
in
support.
ministry. Your whole family
and
walked
such
with you.
wonderful students. I love my students.
Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for
I'll
having
never
me.
forget something you said at our second, at our DMV gathering. We were sitting there eating, and you got up and said, everybody. You gave us a word of advice. I've been telling every student I've taught since that day.
Yeah.
Throw your fastball,
Yeah, throw your fastball.
and I will never forget that.
Yes.
Because I got other pitches to throw.
Yeah. Throw the one you do the best.
Throw the one you do the best.
Yeah.
With that being said, thank y'all so much.
Thank you for having us.
No, but,
I
and I'm gonna
enjoy
have you come back so we can talk about you.
I love to.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely gonna make that happen. Listen, gotta be there on July the 7th, okay? Eastern High School Choir. Your tickets are available on Eventbrite.com.
EasternChoir.com.
EasternChoir.com. Amen. Amen.
For more information on how to become a guest on Real Talk with Phillip Carter, or for general inquiries, please email us at realtalkwithphillipcarter@yahoo.com. Tune in next Monday for another edition of Real Talk with Phillip Carter.